There you are. How are you?
Hi, good.
Man, it's been a while since I've talked with you.
Yeah, it has. Happy to be back.
You've been busy making an album.
Yes, I have.
My God, you guys explore on this album. Let me give you kudos right from the very beginning, because this to me is what albums used to be about. It's not supposed to sound like everything else. You take us on a journey here.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to hear that, because that was really the goal with this, to make sure that it does, that the songs don't sound the same. They tell a story, and it is like a journey listening to it. Because I mean, I love listening to albums.
Yes.
I have my albums on vinyl, and, you know, I have my CDs and stuff, but I just love listening to the whole thing as a whole. So I wanted to make sure that this had that.
Well, there's a big move to get back into albums, and I enjoy sitting down with people that listen to a full album, whereas in the past it was always just about a cut. And it's like, no, get into the full album and start digging in.
Yes, I agree.
Well, let's talk about The Dent in My Life. I mean, the opening with that piano, oh my God, that's very intimate.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, that's me playing. I play piano, so I figured, like, that song's interesting. It's a funny story, because that song was the only song that at first, when I thought of it years ago, I did not want to write it. I was going to scrap it. And then I decided, like, well, actually it was in my head. So I decided, well, I'll just write it, and then, you know what? And once I did it, I really liked the way it came out, so I put it on the album, and I just thought it'd be a good, it's like our ballad, so it's like gives it a good, like, diversity of songs in the album. So it breaks it up, and the piano intro adds another element that we haven't done before.
Yeah, it adds that depth kind of thing to it.
Yeah. So everything's like fast and then it's heavy, and then you got this, you know?
Yeah. I was with Chris Stein of the group Blondie just a couple of days ago, and we talked about the power of Deborah Harry. And I told him, I said, dude, you got to check out this band. And because
Thank you so much.
Oh my God, what you're bringing to the presence of your band is exactly what needs to happen to music right now.
Thank you so much. I love Debbie Harry. She's one of my, she's someone I look up to. She's one of my idols. She's amazing. So I'm so happy you mentioned that.
So now, is that a way for you to tell me that there could be an inspiration of her inside these music, such as My Fault?
Oh, definitely an influence of our like, you know, well, we're metal, but our style, like even some of my songs vocally, like, I've been told before that I'm kind of like a metal Debbie Harry, which is a great compliment to me, because some of my, especially with the previous stuff when I wrote, like, Lower, that some of it, like, has the sort of Blondie style to it. But I grew up listening to her, Pat Benatar.
Oh, yeah.
I grew up listening to that stuff with my mom. So
that Flying V. I got my first Flying V at the age of 17, which I still have today.
Nice. Yeah. Rob's amazing. So
one of the things that people with a Flying V struggle with is that we don't get to hold it the way that regular people get to hold their guitars. How does he deal with that?
You know, honestly, I don't know. I have to ask him, but I think he actually taught himself guitar. Guitar was not his first instrument, so I mean, he's very talented. I'm not sure exactly the difference between holding that and the regular guitar per se, but I mean, he's obviously does well. So
now with Insidious, I mean, what happened with this song? Because this song has got a moody vibe to it, and yet it's very inviting to step inside.
Which one? Insidious Onset?
Yes.
Yeah, that song, well, the first part of that song that I thought of was the intro years ago. And actually, it's the only song that I wrote by playing it on guitar, because a lot of the guitar riffs I write by playing them on piano first, then recording them, then writing them out like in a score. But this one, I actually played on guitar first. Well, the intro, I would struggle playing the rest of it. And yeah, I really loved the intro. I had the name picked out, and I wanted it to be like my masterpiece.
Oh, wow.
So then I later just wrote the whole thing, and it's definitely, the song itself takes you on a journey of the way it changes. It starts one way, and then by the bridge it gets pretty crazy.
When you were putting together images reflecting at 55 seconds, were you thinking TikTok, or were you just thinking like the old days of albums where it was like, this is the intro, now get ready to go on a journey?
Yes. That's the intro. I was thinking of the full album.
Yeah.
That's the intro song.
Yeah.
And it actually, yeah.
Yeah, because it really does. It brings you in. It kind of gives me 55 seconds where I can sit there and say, okay, what am I going to listen to here? Oh my God, here we go.
Yeah, it's the beginning of the journey, that one. And we did it so that it blends directly into the next song.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're listening, it's just like, there it is.
But you know, Becky,
and that's actually why I'll say that it's kind of like the word, the title, images reflecting within. The next song's Revenge. It's almost like a whole title in itself. That's why I ended it. I made it that way so that it's within Revenge.
Oh my God, if you could just see my notes here, it's Revenge. It says, you don't hold back on this song. It is hardcore in your heart. That's what I wrote about Revenge.
Thank you. That's a fun song. That's one of the ones that was like an older song that I actually thought of when we were doing like our earlier stuff I actually thought of the song when writing Perception. The first EP, but I didn't actually like write it. I just had it saved because I knew that I wanted to hold it for something like this. And then, yeah, I'm just happy with the way it came out. I'm happy with everything. It's a fun song, and I love playing it live. And it's so fun to do live.
I was going to ask you about that. Taking this album to a live stage, how do you prepare yourself for this?
I do all my vocal warm-ups. There's definitely some crazy jumps. We did so far, because we just did our album release show. Well, now it's in like a month, which is crazy. The album was like released a month ago. But we did like Revenge, Awaken, A Dent in My Life. So I just warm up and just vocally prepare myself, and yeah.
I don't think listeners understand the journey from when it's recorded in the studio is one mindset. When you listen to it after it's all been engineered and mixed down, that's another mindset. But when you take it to a live stage, now it's time to become the actor and bring it to the people.
Yeah, that's actually honestly the fun part, the funnest part. I mean, everything's fun, but it's so fun to actually just be able to just perform it live.
Yeah, so many people think it just happens. They don't realize the struggles, okay, we need to do this. No, go back and change this. Oh, hey, can we do this if we do this do a different roll on the drum? What can we do differently?
Yeah, it's definitely, you have to change the things. Actually, for Dead in My Life, because we didn't want to pull out a keyboard or like mid set. Our guitarist, actually Connor, who joins us live, he decided he'll play the intro, the piano part on guitar, and then so we did it so that it's not a piano intro live, it's a guitar intro. That was cool.
That's interesting, because in talking with ZZ Top, they always talked about how their music was based on a car's engine.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So when you go back and listen to their music and you think of a car's engine, you're going to go, oh my God, that's exactly what's going on here.
Yeah, that's cool. I'll have to go listen to them with that mindset.
Hey, speaking of cars, the song Blackout, will you pay for my speeding tickets every time I play that in my car?
Oh my gosh, that is another one that we love playing that live. That cover.
I bet.
That was so much fun.
How does the audience react to something like that? They've got to be bouncing around like a bunch of wild monkeys out there.
Yeah. People love that, because it's my favorite Scorpion song. It's such a fun song, and we changed it. It's our first cover that we did where we didn't. And we've changed slight things in the past when doing like Flight of Vigorous, nothing, and Them Bones, but nothing like crazy. So this was our first one where we actually changed more stuff musically to make it like fit our style. So, and I love the way it came out. It is so much fun to do live, and yeah, people love it.
For radio listeners that don't understand, when you do a cover song, do you have to write to the original performers and say, hey, look, we're thinking about putting this on our brand new album? Or is it something that you deal with after it's been released?
Well, you don't have to write to them, but you do have to deal with just making sure that everything's like taken care of prior to releasing it, so that you're not just like that. You have the rights and everything like taken care of, so that's not like you're just releasing it as your own, because it's not our song. So
well, that's interesting that you bring up the words, the rights to use it, because that's one thing that, you know, as the everyday person is getting into the podcast industry, and they all think that they can put music on their streaming platforms, they don't realize that you've got to have the rights in order to put that music on that podcast. And so I'm glad that you said that you too have to deal with that.
Yes.
The album cover. Yeah. Who is the photographer? What happened here? Because this right here belongs in a frame at the Biltmore Estate here in the Carolinas.
Yeah, so we work with this guy Diego, who actually does artwork for like he did it for Corpsegrinder solo work. He does it for Suicide Silence, I believe he worked with, and many other like bigger artists. And he's really phenomenal. He does amazing artwork. So basically, I give him my idea, and then he brings it to life. So I wanted the mirrors, I wanted the chessboard and stuff, and have that look. And I basically told him all my ideas, and he came up with this amazing artwork, and I'm so happy with it.
I got to ask you kind of a personal question, going back to Chris Stein, because I told him that I was shocked that I didn't realize that he was the mastermind behind Blondie. You're the mastermind behind this band, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Oh my God, that is I just love to hear your strength, and it's like I feel like I'm talking to Chris Stein again.
Yep, I'm the mastermind of this band.
But you share it though. That's the thing about it, because you can hear it inside all this music. That this is a collaboration of all these instruments that are all respected in one place.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because everyone, you know, comes to the table with their own talent, and they're amazing. And I'm thankful to work with amazing musicians.
Yeah.
So it's just, you know, I write the music, I give it to them, and they put their own talent to it, and it really becomes something special.
Where can people go to buy the merchandise? I know that you guys are doing the touring and stuff like that, but I think that people that can't get to you, they need to still buy the merchandise and support you all the way.
You can go find all our merchandise on our Bandcamp. So if you go to we actually have a link tree in our bios on Instagram and Facebook, and it's got our Bandcamp in there where you can find all our merchandise. We have our T-shirts. We have patches now, which is really cool. We have our CDs, all that.
You know, with those patches, I'm starting to see those on ball caps. They'll buy those patches, and then they put them on a blank ball cap and still sport things around like a T-shirt.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I've seen some of that. I'm excited. I have my denim jacket. I still have to update it with my own patch, but I have to. I love that, like the jackets with, like, you know, the patches and stuff. I see people with those too. So
wow.
Yeah.
You've got to come back to this show anytime in the future. You know the door is always going to be open for you.
Thank you so much.
And if you ever get out to the Carolinas, man, we got to get together if you come to the Carolinas.
All right. We're looking forward to traveling and doing more shows, so I'll keep that in mind.
Absolutely. Well,
definitely would love to.
You be brilliant today, okay?
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.